Okay, we're here, MoonKILL Radio, with the mighty awesome Stormhouse. All one word, Stormhouse. Right?
Word.
How you guys doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
How you doing? Good.
Doing
How was
good.
it?
It was
Fun.
amazing.
You guys have
It was
fun?
fun. Yeah,
Hell
thank you for
yeah.
having
Sounded
us.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sound good? Sound all right?
Folk good.
Yeah.
Sounds
Our little
good.
dungeon here.
Digging the room. Yeah, it's great.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's the best dungeon I've
Like the
been.
breakdancing videos was good
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, all the b-boy stuff. That's when I
There's
saw
enough,
that, I knew it was going to be fun.
There's
So,
enough
yeah.
oxygen here for you?
What was that?
Yes.
Enough oxygen in
decent
here for you?
amount.
All
That fan helped out
Perfect.
tremendously.
It's perfect in
It
here.
really did.
right, so you guys all Santa Ana people?
No.
No.
I'm from Long Beach myself, but yeah.
Long Beach?
I'm originally from Whittier.
Whittier. All right.
Santana representando.
Santa Ana.
All right.
I mean,
Santana.
Tepic 90. It's
Well,
pretty
now
good, super
if
specific.
you look under the band, it says Santa Ana, but you guys live there now, or?
I live in Old Town Orange now, so
Oh, that's
Close enough.
I still currently am in Long Beach, and I'm moving to another place in Long Beach.
oh, okay. We're staying in Long Beach, though.
Long
You
Beach,
guys
Long
still-
Beach. Oh, yeah.
You guys are local Santa Ana?
Yeah,
Yeah,
born
I
and
still
born and
they're
raised.
holding it down
I still live in Santa Ana,
Yeah.
sadly.
for the Orange County fans.
So let's give us some history. How the band started? Who started the band?
It was actually it was between me and Isaac. I had gotten back from Puerto Rico. I was living over there for a little bit. Showed this guy my music, and he actually wanted to get back into. Well, he had been playing for a good while, but he's like, "Hey, let's put this stuff together and turn it into something." And that's when he brought Markie into the mix. Markie, how did you come into the mix?
Well, Isaac asked me to join several times, and I declined because I wanted to focus on being a hairstylist. But then he finally sent me the tracks, and I've always been a fan of Noel's songwriting, and there was no way that I could just say no to this project. So
And there was no
caved.
way I didn't think she was going to say no. So, like, it was like,
It was an in.
I wasn't going to present bullshit. You know, I was going to, like, you're going to be in this group after I send this. Like,
Yeah.
It's-
and literally, I was like,
like,
God
Go and
damn
play your
it.
games and stuff? Or
Yeah, you know, like, I wasn't just going to present anything, you know, because I had been working with this guy real hard. Like, we were meeting up, you know, consecutively, like, throughout the week just to write, you know, and just, like, share ideas. Just, you know, it was almost obsessive, you know, on how frequently we were meeting up, you know, throughout the week just to share ideas and start working on new things, you know, and keep the energy going, you know, as far as...
Was it just a duo thing, or like was there other bands involved you guys were in?
No,
or?
no, it was just more like a duo thing because that's kind of how it's always been. We've always been in and out of bands, you know, for a really long time since we were kids, really. And, you know, there's always been periods where, you know, we
do
don't
our own
play
thing.
music. Yeah, we go off and do other things and then we reconnect. And then, yeah, this kind of just happened by chance, you know, and I kind of gambled on it and then eventually reached out to Markie. And then Ozzy came on board shortly
This
after
guy
that.
here.
Yeah.
Just
This
showed up.
guy.
Yeah.
Basically, I was in another band called the Bonaventures, and the Bonaventures played a show in Orange County, and we opened up for these guys, actually, and as soon as I saw them, I was really hooked on it. Specifically, the song Left, I was literally like, oh, dude, this is like, I'm into it.
See, something about the song.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Something about the
And
song.
then a couple weeks later, we ended up getting in communication with each other, and then luckily they needed a bass player. I've been playing bass for a million years for a bunch of different bands, and it just worked out.
You guys were cool with his slapping the bass.
Yeah.
Slap it
Oh,
about.
yeah.
I mean, me and this guy, we've always had like problems with bass players. So we've never been able to like have a consistent bass player. And Ozzy kind of just came in at the right time, and he's stuck with it. So it's
Good
worked out for a
vibes.
while. Yeah.
Good vibes, really easy. You know, we got along really well. It was really
yeah,
funny. So it's
it was
just
just it was natural. It was really cool.
I'm way too easygoing. I just don't give a shit about anything.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
That works out.
It helps
You
everybody
should
else
care.
out.
definitely. It does.
Now, like, did you guys meet Markie like getting your hair done, or?
Oh no.
No.
I rarely cut my hair.
I don't.
I was
do men's cuts.
I was in a band with
What?
Markie like back in the day, like in 2013,
2012.
around there.
Around that. Yeah, around
Yeah.
that time. Yeah.
I was only in the band for a short period of time before I left, and then I started another group. Did that for a couple of years, and then eventually just reconnected once he came back from Puerto Rico, and then just the timing kind of worked out to just start
that
pulling
was-
my resources, you know.
That
and
was the sound for this. What you
basically,
got going on.
yeah. Because when we were in her old band, Spanish Daggers, it was cool. It just wasn't the right time, you know, for anything to come out of it. You know, as far as
It
like
was a party
her-
band. It wasn't we weren't serious. It was just fun. I don't know. And then whatever. We were in our early 20s. Whatever.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Drinking beer and playing loud.
Yeah.
Not a bad
Pretty
thing.
much.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah,
Not a bad
it was
thing.
fun.
Ah.
But
Now you're as a drummer. Like, where does your style come from?
just punk rock in general. I mean,
rock
that was like the simplest form of music that was, you know, presented to me, and it was just easy to grab onto. And then eventually that kind of turned into just opening up, you know, just finding other styles of music, you know, eventually.
So those are later influences.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
a
Like
punk
I went
drummer.
backwards, you know. I learned all the punk stuff first, and then I realized, well, there's got to be more than that, you know. So eventually I got into jazz, and then jazz led to classic rock, and then
I was just
you
saying,
know,
you don't play
fusion,
like a punk
funk,
drummer.
you know. Huh?
You don't play like a punk drummer.
I mean, I don't consider myself a punk drummer. That's why, I mean,
Why's that?
I try to be as versatile as possible, you know,
Yeah.
playing different, you know, just be, you know a ton of styles, you know, and try to incorporate it to what I can do. Yeah. So.
And guitar wise,
It's almost the same as this guy. I grew up listening to punk. Like, well, it started, my brother showed me all the classic hip hop. And then eventually, as I grew older, all the angsty shit going through me, got into punk. Not gonna lie, I started with no effects. And then it all came at me, you know, talking Ramones, Sex Pistols, and all the obscure stuff. And then just over time, you know, the power chords weren't cutting it. So over the years, I started listening to, whether it's jazz or Latin music and all that stuff, and I've incorporated that into my style of playing. So that's why I don't stay with the power chords. I jump out a little here and there,
yeah.
but try to keep it in essence as I guess sort of as punk. So, you know, just I keep that ethic and try to keep that grittiness, but just incorporate different sounds.
Markie.
I'm all over the place. I mean, I was inspired by early 90s, like No Doubt, and Gwen Stefani was everything to me growing up. But aside from that, I got introduced to punk because my mom was heavily into that in the 80s. And then my dad briefly was an Elvis impersonator. So I would like try and like sing along to like Elvis tunes with him and shit. So yeah,
Really?
pretty much. Yeah.
Give us some.
No.
Come on,
Come on, go home.
Yeah.
Go home.
That.
Come on, a little bit.
I'm just a hunk of burning love. I don't know.
See, maybe you guys could rock out an
There you
Elvis
go.
tune,
There
man.
we go.
She's already
Well,
got it
It
going.
wouldn't be hard, yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, yeah.
I mean that, and then is that like? Now, Gwen is a great performer. Is like, as far as your performance, is that just character from you, or do you taken from like, who do you know what I mean?
Performance-wise,
yeah.
I'm influenced, again, Gwen Stefani. I look up to Tina Turner, even, from the 60s. I mean, fuck.
The acid queen.
Dude, I just idolize her. She's like the best front woman ever. But yeah,
She's like watching
Gwen
her is
and
like the
Tina.
first workout video, huh?
yeah. Shit, my goal in life is to have legs like Tina. Shit.
Oh, right.
But exactly, yeah. But yeah, I would say Gwen and Tina would be my biggest like influences as far as like stage performance goes.
Bassman.
Me, myself, I grew up playing in a bunch of rockabilly bands. I was lucky enough to play for some really cool, bigger ones. And eventually, well, I was an upright bass player, went from there and learned jazz, went from there and just went everywhere and got into surf punk. And I just love bass.
You
Throw
still
four
play
strings at
upright?
me, wherever. Oh, yeah. Still play upright every now and then. Not specifically for anything outside of just like having fun, but outside of that, just playing bass for these guys, and that's it. Yeah.
No,
my life.
no upright bass in the future.
Nah,
It's
not
too-
for this
God,
band.
that band?
pain.
We're
It's
too
pain,
loud.
man.
We're too loud. Like,
Get
No.
obscured in the back.
I've spent too many years lugging that damn thing around, and I have a Ford Focus, so I'm good. Fine.
It fits perfect. In the,
So
in the
fine.
song.
Trunk in one, we're good.
Gold.
I'm sick of Tetris.
Oh yeah, those.
Tetris.
So you guys got what? You guys put out a demo, right?
Yeah.
That was
Yes, they
what
did.
a couple few years back.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
we put out a couple of demo tracks.
demo
It
tracks.
was like 3 or
Like
4 or something like
four,
that.
Or yeah,
That was fun.
That was That was
Yeah.
interesting.
Did it on
I've
an
never
So
iPad.
fun.
Yeah.
tell the story how you guys recorded that. That was
We
that's
recorded
pretty
the
weird.
demo tracks, the early stuff, on an iPad Mini, and we did it in my garage, and it was just me and him. Like, we did the most simple setup ever, and we would place the iPad in certain parts of the room where, you know, the sound wasn't going to drown out the little microphone inside the iPad.
Dude,
And
it was
we
intense.
yeah, it was intense, but you know, that's how we were able to get the earliest like ideas, you know, put
Yeah.
together. And it was all done like through GarageBand, but
We didn't even have like a microphone though. We had to like
No.
sing into the
This
like
guy,
we had to sing
this guy was
directly
our
in-
mic stand.
like,
yeah.
This
Yeah,
guy
it
was the mic
was.
stand.
Yeah.
we had to
I
like I had
remember
to hold
that,
the iPad
Up to our
directly to
faces.
them, and then they would sing right into
gosh.
it.
Oh, right into the iPad.
Yeah.
Directly
Yeah,
onto the
directly.
iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
It was
nothing, man.
brutal, man.
It's like the 4-track of like this day and age.
Yeah.
That's how it pretty much.
But that's cool, right? Again, if you don't got the means, you're gonna do it any way you can, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As you should.
Straight up.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I mean that, and that's what you guys put on Bandcamp.
At
Yeah.
first, yeah, in the
Right?
beginning, yeah.
The first like
Mhm.
3 or 4 tracks, right?
Uh-huh.
hmm
So that's the stuff that's on. You can still go. They're still there, right?
It's
You can
still there.
Still there?
Still go on
Yeah.
Bandcamp and find the iPad tracks.
I think
They're
I think
goodies.
I think I might have pulled them recently because
Did you?
Really?
Yeah.
They're gone.
I saw some
Sorry, guys.
today.
Just
well,
kidding.
because we made
You're
little
missing out
teaser
on BO.
videos too. We should repost those
Well,
actually.
if you go on our like YouTube link or our YouTube page, you can actually find like minute-long like promo clips from the. We use the audio from the demo stuff, so you can listen to
Okay.
that. But as far as like our Bandcamp, I think I pulled the earlier
Those
demo
demo
stuff.
ones?
Yeah, because once we started like putting material out, you know, that was just better, you know, sounding. I just decided it was just a little bit more presentable at that point, just to keep the nicer quality stuff up on our Bandcamp.
Yeah, it's okay. So you
I didn't
guys,
know
You
that.
know,
you guys just put out recently 5 songs.
we put out
No,
3 songs.
Three.
Three
yeah,
songs.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know how to
songs.
think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, but one of them had to be renamed.
Yeah. That,
Oh,
that
That
would
was,
have been
that
Markie's.
was the
That was
the
from the
earlier
first
EP.
release.
Yeah, the
that
first
was the
release.
Previous
EP.
one.
So
Yeah,
the first song you guys played here was called
Oh.
"Left,"
Metallo?
Uh-huh.
or had to be renamed
Sancti. Yeah.
"Sancti"
Well,
because
we couldn't use
David
left
Bowie.
because it was the word was copywritten, and so DistroKid wasn't allowing us to use it. So we had to,
you had to
you know,
rename it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen often. It's just apparently left.
Yeah, that word is just like
Just
someone
left,
someone
yeah.
already had dibs on it. You know.
Thank you, Bowie.
See, and then even that, like you say,
I
oh,
will
you can't
find
do
you.
it because somebody already had a copyright on it. And what's the first person you would think of is with Gene Simmons. But it wasn't
Yeah.
Gene
Oh,
Simmons,
but it wasn't.
right?
It actually was, yeah.
It was
Gene-
David
I-
Bowie, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was David Bowie. Don't quote me. It
Oh,
just,
what? This
no.
whole time I've been telling people that it was David Bowie.
You told us
And
it
I've
was
been
We
David
looking like
apologize
Jerry.
for throwing your name
Tell
under the
people
dirt, David Bowie.
Yeah. Sorry, David.
I've been talking so much shit. But I
Yeah,
love you.
we-
I know.
But I wouldn't be
all
surprised if
kinds
it
of-
really
You
was.
told us it was Bowie.
It wasn't Bowie.
Oh, there we go.
Aw.
So now you guys got the 3 songs out.
3 brand new tracks. Yeah.
From here on, what's I mean, 3 more coming, full album coming. What's the deal? What's going on?
I'd like to release a couple more EPs before an actual full length.
Yeah. It's going really well with that. It
Yeah.
really works with our like schedules and just being able to put stuff together. You were gonna say.
Yeah, just a couple more short releases would be nice. But if timing works out, you know, just if we can get enough studio time to do a full length, it's, you know, it'd be great. I mean, the tracking part is the easiest part. I can knock out everything in a day, no problem. You know, 14 tracks, whatever. It's just the mixing.
Oh,
That's when
well,
it starts to
I'm
get
gonna hold you
fucking
to that.
pricey. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I like that though. It makes
We
you
haven't-
confident.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
get it done in a
quite a
day.
bit of
Well,
confidence.
we're
Yeah.
honestly
We
we're
We have it.
we're
I
pretty
could
on
correct them
point.
in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
We can
You know?
slam out one takes. We got that.
No, that's
mind you
cool. I
that.
like
Two takes
Love that.
a track, you know, and you're good.
Yeah.
Just going with the positive mentality, you know, and A
No,
couple
we,
of,
we,
couple
we
of
give him a
shots
hard
before
time.
you
We
go
give him a
in,
hard
and-
time, but
Yeah.
we're really jealous because he does have that badass confidence.
Yeah.
He genuinely is like might be one of the best like musicians I've ever played with.
Thank you, Ozzy.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Truly is.
Thank you guys.
So you guys got the three.
Let's just go back to what they said. I wouldn't be in the position that I am musically if it wasn't for them though, because I get my motivation from them, you know. So whether if it's a studio setting or a live setting, you know, if the energy's right, I'm gonna have a good set, you know, or I'm gonna have a good session. So it just comes down to all of us, you know. We have to work together, and you know, I'll go in with the confidence that I have, but you know, if I don't go in with them, you know, with the same, you know, confidence, then you know, I'm not gonna have the best results, I guess. But
I feel like for the most part we're all
Yeah.
pretty confident with it. Like everything I base off of is like a lot of like what he's doing with his right leg and his left hand. Like as long as he's on point with that, like which he always is, then I'm genuinely like always in the like able to just go right into the pocket. So like, and on top of that, like Noel he has a great way of writing songs that it fits in so easily and perfect that like it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle that just boom, it's easy as hell and just goes right in.
Yeah, for sure. And then Markie has on top, which is great because you guys have a different sound to where, like, when I first heard you, I was like, okay. The first thing I heard, I was thinking, shit, are they a rock, punk? They could go rockabilly? Like, you guys could go
We
all these
can.
different avenues.
yeah, we
Because you don't
can.
have a set sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no
We can go
gimmick, you
cumbia,
know.
we can
Well,
go
yeah.
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 and then of course you have just total Markie vocals. You know, like I said, like the song "Left," the way on the demo part, what really caught me because that was like it could have easily been like a swing song.
Oh, awesome.
You know, to me,
Thank
like, think
you.
about the way the
Yeah,
guitar's
cool.
going. If he would have just drummed a little different, you know.
Yeah, if I sway more, it could be.
Yeah, you know, it was like could have been
Easily.
a total rockabilly swing, you know, that kind of song. But then again, it wasn't a straightforward beat.
It wasn't
Rock
a
song.
it wasn't a 4 on the floor, but it was
Yeah.
just still like it was groovy.
It had a bounce to it. And it had a different kind of tempo to it.
Yeah, we
And-
try not
and
to
the way you
restrict
sang
you.
it.
Thank you.
And again, that's
well.
probably why I got me.
See, tell you, important song, man.
I heard that. I'm like, oh, okay, that's tight.
I mean, I mean, for life. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm done. Just keep playing that song, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
No, but even the rest of it, like again, like most songs, it has like a punk vibe to it, but then
Yeah.
the other songs don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not. What's cool is you guys don't sound boxed in somewhere.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
try not
Thank
to
you.
do that. We try not to do
Yeah.
that. We try to keep it, I guess, fresh every time we go in and write new stuff. You know, just give it a slightly different feel so that it's not
Yeah.
just monotonous. You know, just very stereotypical, like punk. There's nothing wrong with that, but we just want to explore. We like the option of being able to explore different musical styles, but still come back to it. Still come back to like that punk grit and that
Yeah.
angsty feel to it. You know.
Well, I think-
It's a
yeah.
lot of that attitude, but it also along the lines of like how he writes and everything. He
Mhm.
keeps it so broad and like open ended to the extent of like he lets Isaac be able to be Isaac and like just figure out what the hell he wants to do for the drums. He'll let me be able to like figure out what the hell I want to do with bass, and like it just works out really well. But like he's also super open of just having his music like be able to like move around however it is, like with each of our styles and however we like come up with stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
bring
yeah.
all of our influences
Yeah.
to the table, and somehow it just like meshes well together and creates
Yeah, 'cause
what
I
we
think-
are.
I think all of us have
Yeah.
like
It's beautiful,
very
yeah.
different musical tastes and backgrounds.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
like, there's a lot of stuff none of us can all really agree, you know, on because we listen to.
That's that. Yeah,
You know,
we
but,
don't agree
yeah,
on
you
much,
know,
but
we-
what we do is like
Yeah.
we take with what we all like, you know, and we put it together,
Yeah.
and that's kind of how we've, you know, composed a lot of the music that we have with this group. So
Well, like,
it's worked out.
okay, so give me, like, I always ask this question, right? And it always, again, if you can't answer right away, don't worry about it. We'll move on, right? Because we're timed here, right?
He looks right at you.
Yeah, we're timed here. Well, no, everyone gets
I'm
stuck,
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
right? So it's like, okay, if I stick your ass on an empty island, I give you 2 records to take with you. What do you take?
oh, simple.
Fuck.
You know what I mean? See, that's what I said. Everyone gets stuck in it. Oh,
All right.
man. It was 1, and I was like, okay, go ahead and take 2, because everyone's like, well,
Take 2.
you know.
Talking about the Isaac Hayes
No.
Oh, there's
No.
one Isaac Hayes album that just kills.
Which one?
Walk On By. The
Hot
one
Buttered
with,
Soul.
Huh?
Hot Buttered Soul.
Yep. You give me Hot Buttered Soul, do that all day.
Wow. That's such a good album.
Right? Damn.
It's so oddball that this bunch picks fucking Isaac Hayes.
Oh, I'm Isaac Hayes all day.
Oh, it's gonna get weird. It's gonna get even weird.
Outside of that,
Fucking
No, that's
hell.
pretty weird, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I'll probably say like the Menahan Street Band, the Crossing album.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Like that funk sounding, huh? You digging that?
it's bass. It's
The
just
bass.
it's that right there for me is like what the epiphany of like what bass should sound like tone wise. Like nothing that's overpowering anything else. Nothing that's crazy like just dumb or like doing too much over the song. It's just sits right in the pocket,
Yeah.
right there with drums and just grooving the whole time.
Yeah. Anybody else want to chime in?
Oh, dude, I'll definitely say something. I'll say my weird one would be Sonora Ponceña. It's a salsa album. Living in Puerto Rico, you hear it all the time, and I have to admit, dude, it opened my eyes to just different music. So I think that's great, and I've tried to incorporate elements of that. And the Damn's Damn album.
The first one.
Yeah, exactly.
First one.
It's good vocals, great guitar work, like awesome bass lines. The drums are killer. It's like punk and salsa. That's the fucking weird one for
Punk
me.
and salsa.
I retract the Menahan Street Band for Damn Damn Damn. Yeah.
Bam, see?
Yo, you already got education.
Yeah.
You're good.
We're good. Yeah.
Anybody else? Mine.
Come on, Isaac.
I don't know. There's so much.
I know
I
you
don't
got
know.
some shit.
I was really into like stuff that came out in the '90s, like Flaming Lips. So I'd have to take Flaming Lips, Clouds Taste Metallic album. That album specifically like opened my world up to all sorts of other stuff. Within the '90s era of that style of music. And then as far as the second album, I don't know, the first Black Sabbath album.
First one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ah,
Yeah,
like the bluesy
that Bill
stuff.
Ward, that Bill Ward, man, because that was the first time where you're just like, you had drummers incorporating, jazz and the metal and the rock and stuff like that. So it was like it was cool, For me, when I first heard it, I was like, this is unreal. Like, it's like everything I learned in jazz, but incorporated into rock, and it's heavy. It's fucking, it's powerful.
Okay, so being an old drummer, I have to ask, who are your top 3 drummers?
It's impossible. You can't.
Oh, come
you
on.
can't
Well,
just narrow it down to 3.
Besides Buddy Rich and
Besides the greats,
Yeah.
the dudes that started it all.
Yeah. Let's say 60s and up. Rock.
Mitch Mitchell from the Hendrix Experience. Jimmy Chamberlain from Smashing Pumpkins, and the guy from Parliament Funkadelic, Chamberlain. What's his name? Dennis Chamberlain.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Parliament.
Parliament Funkadelic.
Really?
Yeah.
Big Parliament fan, huh?
Oh yeah, the earlier stuff. Yeah, the heavy, like gritty rock and roll stuff. I mean, I loved all the funk stuff too.
You mean like the Funkadelic stuff?
Yeah, the Funkadelic stuff
Oh,
was
that
great.
stuff.
Like all the synthesizer stuff, but I also liked,
No,
Parliament.
or you talking about the early Funkadelic, like rock,
yeah,
acid rock,
yeah,
trippy
all that trippy
shit.
stuff. Yeah, that was great. Like,
All right.
yeah, like Maggot Brain, amazing record. Changed my life when I heard it. Like,
Mind blowing.
it was
Yeah.
great.
It's a great record.
Yeah, but it's just not cool when you're 10 and you listen to Free Your Mind in the Dark. If you ever listen to that one, and you're 10 and you're like, kind of smoked out.
It's a good age.
It'll freak you out. Try it. It's good stuff. Markie, mine.
I would say Under the Big Black Sun by X.
Right.
It's a great one.
That, I mean, lyrically, vocally, and just how it's produced, just gold. I mean, Exene's lyrics are just out there, and on top of that, like John Doe's voice, their vocals just complement each other in the best way possible. But it's the only record I could really think of. I was thinking this whole time, so
So you
I would
need
take that.
Under the Big Black Sun. That's good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
some kind of No Doubt record.
I mean, Tragic Kingdom. I mean, but
I knew
Yes.
it.
What's right? You didn't want to say that one?
Not. 'Cause
Blink
it's
182,
so
damn it.
obvious.
It's in there somewhere.
Come on.
Yeah,
Blink.
I mean, Tragic Kingdom just opened my eyes to music in general. I mean,
Wrong
I
with
saw
that.
them perform live when I was like 6, and
Wow.
just eye opening. And I mean, I knew right then I wanted to like sing in a band. So
All right there,
I'd say-
real quick. Best concert you ever been to?
Damn.
Anybody chime in? Bam.
All right, Rage Against the Machine,
Oh.
with Muse, with Daft Punk. It was Muse Inc. 2009, 8, something like that. It was in Vegas. It was the greatest show I've ever been to. I had no idea who Muse was. I don't know who Queens in the Stone Age was, but my life changed after that.
That's awesome.
That was a great show.
That's a great
and it
lineup.
was a free ticket.
Yeah.
My
Best
sister,
show right there.
my sister had a handful of tickets. And she's like, "Oh, dude, there's this show going on. Do you want them?" I'm like, "Who's playing?" Looked it up. I'm like, "Dude, I hate you. Like this was going on all weekend, and you're telling me for the Sunday? You suck."
That sucks.
But I still called everybody. It was awesome. So
Anybody
that
else?
was maybe the best show ever.
Who else?
I saw X, Los Lobos, and the Blasters play at Nokia Live. Is that what it's called? Yeah. I started off with just a general admission ticket, but my parents, they had tickets too, but in the VIP section, and they wanted to go drinking. Oh, friend. They wanted to go drinking at the second bar in the VIP section, but I didn't have a ticket. And then some lady that was in front of us in line to the VIP bar was like, "Oh, actually, I overheard you guys. I'm sorry, but I have an extra ticket. Do you want it? You can totally have it." So got into VIP. Show was about to start. I had to go back down to general admission, and some lady was trying to like sneak into the mosh pit area, and the security guard just wasn't letting her like get in at all. And I was cracking up. I was like, "This dumb bitch, like." Come on, dude, they're not going to let you in. Like, give up, you know? She finally just, like, gave up, went away, and he looked around. He's like, "Are you by yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you want to get in the pit?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah." And he gave me a fucking wristband, got in the pit. So, best concert, just because, I mean, fuck, came up.
All right, right on.
I was in the pit for X.
X Blasters and Los Lobos.
hmm
That's good stuff. For me, I'm not gonna lie, it's The Exploited. I was maybe about like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
It was one of the
Nice.
gnarliest shows I've ever seen.
Oh, was that one show?
It was at
That ended up in
the
In the
Galaxy.
newspaper that got rated crazy?
Oh no, that one, not that one. That one didn't get rated, but it, for a young teenager just wanting to listen to some punk, that was wild for me. It was nutty. There were fights. Jumped in the pit for a split second because any longer my head would have been on the floor. That's my best. That was great for me. That was great for me.
Life changing, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think I saw Cheap Sex like that.
Cheap sex.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know, man. That one's tough. Well, because I work for the Orange County Weekly and I photograph like
Pre-OC
concerts.
Weekly.
And so I've been very fortunate to just, see a lot of concerts because I have to photograph them. And there's been a lot of great ones, but
Well, okay. Then
I think like
give me one.
I honestly had never really like cared for going to shows because I never had money to go to them. And then the OC Weekly came around and then I had all this like all these opportunities. So I took advantage of every one that came by.
Yeah.
But I have to say the Dan was pretty amazing. Yeah, I saw them
Which time? You've seen them like
the
twice.
second time because I got to photograph them and I was like only a foot away from the entire band. That was at the House of Blues, Anaheim, the latest location, the bigger room that they have right now at the
They're
Garden
fun.
Walk area. Yeah, that was a pretty amazing show.
Now seeing all these shows, has there been a band that either you walked into didn't knowing or walked into thinking that they sucked, but walking out thinking like, wow, these guys are good.
Yeah, I covered.
Like they really blew your mind.
Yeah, like I covered this festival. It was a 2-day festival at the Queen Mary. It was called Tropicalia, and I discovered the band Combo Chimbita, and they're from New York, but I think they have roots in Colombia, and they have like a really cool neo kind of like Latin sound, and like a lot of it's kind of weird psychedelic trippy stuff. They got a female front woman who has this amazing voice. She's a very powerful voice, and
It's like a Latin soul kind of thing. Or?
Kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
but with like a psychedelic, weird, dark twist to it. It's really cool. They're a great band.
What are they called?
But they're called Combo Chimbita. And I was actually backstage getting food and like in the catering area, and I heard the stage going off and it sounded great. I'm like, dang, who's that on stage? So I came in through the back and I got to just walk up on stage, and I realized that's who the group was. And I didn't even know who they were, but they were rocking and the crowd was digging it. They were going wild. And I had to ask someone who was on stage and be like, hey, what's the name of this band? They're like, Combo Chimbita. And I was like, what? And they're all Combo Chimbita. And I was like, okay. And I got to meet the band after their set, and they turned out to be really cool people. So I think they're one of the most recent groups that I discovered on accident, just because I heard them from a distance, and then I was just like, who is this group? You know, they're popping off right now, and it was good stuff, man. Yeah.
Right on. Well, speak of shows, what's next for you guys? I mean, what's next, future? What are you guys looking for?
More material, putting out more stuff.
Yes.
Chill first?
Yeah, working with new engineers, just feeling out, different styles of, people's ways of recording, really. I mean, me personally, I really want to focus more on that, I mean,
Still
shows are
playing
great
local
too.
shows?
Yeah, still doing local shows if we could, playing a little bit more out in LA, getting more exposure out there. But I really want to work with different engineers and just try to see, who can really, really like, make the sound that we want as far as the studio quality goes.
So no tour on the books?
Not quite
Something.
yet.
Not quite
Something
yet. Not
soon.
quite yet. Not quite yet. But it'd be
Yeah.
great to get like a little weekender,
Yeah.
weekend run, up north or something like
Like
that.
a West Coast run or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be
Go up through the
fun.
bay,
Yeah.
Into Oregon.
It's definitely something like way doable and way easier than like something like nationwide. But a small tour will be rad. And just as he was saying, like we're just really interested in recording right now. Like we got so many songs and we keep writing so much more stuff. Like it's always just fun to be able to go somewhere new and like hear somebody else's take on like what we can do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and
Right.
a music video.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
And a music video on the
we're
works.
filming that next month. So.
Next month?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
For which song?
Jester.
New one?
Jester's
Or
Dance.
just
Yeah.
okay. So
It's-
look out
it's-
for that one.
It's one of the recent songs that we put out in the last EP that we did.
Yeah.
I think it's the second song on the EP. Gestures?
Jester's
Yeah,
Dance.
Gestures
Yeah.
Dance, yeah.
Gotta be
Jester's
inspired by
Dance.
Ray
Jester's
J
Dance,
and
yeah.
Kim Kardashian's video.
Right.
Oh
All right.
gosh.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Again, you guys want to give some shout outs to anybody out there, bands or
Hi,
peoples?
Mom.
No.
Shout out to my mom. Dry Walero.
Oh yeah, that's my cumbia band that I play in.
Playing it.
Man's in a cumbia band.
Yeah,
Really
we're,
good.
We're
It's awesome.
gigging.
Check
We're
it out.
gigging tonight in downtown Santa Ana.
Kid
So,
Chocolate
there you go.
Band.
And then Ozzy's in a band called Kid Chocolate. They just put out some music recently. It's pretty good stuff.
All right.
So,
Some sad boy
Chocolate.
bangers. Go listen to it.
Bad Boy
and
Bangers.
hi,
Sad.
Dad,
Let's do
so
it.
he doesn't get jealous. I said hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Hi mom. Hi dad.
Hi, Dad.
Hi mom. Hi Liz.
Sorry.
Hi everyone in my family.
All right. Well, again, thanks you guys for coming, man.
Thank you
for
for
having
Thank you
having
for
us.
having
guys.
us.
Thank you.
It was our pleasure.
George
it was
back
great.
there. Thanks, dude.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
brother.
Yeah.
George.
Right.
That's the man.
All
Yeah.
right. Again,
They have amazing whiskey here, by the way.
you guys check out Stormhouse. One word.
Stormhouse.
Stormhouse.
Correct.
You guys are on all the
Yeah,
Yes,
we're
Nick
all,
Bandcamp,
All your favorite
Yeah,
Spotify.
streaming
Apple
podcasts.
Music.
yeah,
Everything.
most streaming platforms we're there. You
We're
know.
Check
everywhere.
us out on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Instagrams and
It's
Facebook.
Grindr.
Stormhouse
Mogul
underscore.
Space.
Grinder.
There you
Everywhere.
go.
What else?
Just
Okay,
about.
Cupid, I think.
Okay,
you
Christian
go.
Well,
Mingle.
we're Christian meat. We're heavy on blackpeoplemeat.com.
Farmer.com.
There you go. Farmers Only Stormhouse. Look them up. All right.
Mhm.
Thanks a
Yeah.
lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
We're out of here.